Tammy Slaton's progress may be slow and steady, but in the end, on 1000 lb Sisters, she may be the winner. She had a different experience on her weight loss journey compared to her sister, Amy Slaton. Facing her setbacks and failures may be the key to her long-term success. Tammy and Amy Slaton's weight loss journeys haven't been the same on 1000 lb Sisters. Although the sisters intended to motivate each other and lose weight together, things didn't go as planned. They went down different paths, which led them to completely different outcomes. Tammy has worked hard to make changes that will last a lifetime, whereas Amy hasn't necessarily taken the same steps. For 1000 lb Sisters, Tammy Slaton learned new diet habits this time. When the 1000 lb Sisters star entered rehab, she understood that she needed to change her ways. After Tammy's serious health scare, she recovered, and quickly understood the importance of leading a healthy lifestyle. She was forced to deal with her bad choices head-on, and address how they impacted her. While in rehab, Tammy learned to start making healthier food choices that would benefit her mind and body. Learning to change her behavior, and the unhealthy foods that she gravitates towards, gives her an advantage in the long run. Tammy had to learn to overhaul her diet on a different level than Amy, as her life was literally hanging in the balance. Amy, on the other hand, has never had to deal with the consequences of her poor choices. Even though Amy managed to stick with her weight loss long enough to qualify for bariatric surgery, she soon became pregnant afterward, and that's when all the work she put in went out the window. Since then, she has never gotten back on track with the same momentum. She still abandons discipline and commitment in favor of her food cravings, and hasn't learned the importance of developing healthy habits that will last a lifetime. 1000 lb Sisters Tammy Slaton hasn't deviated from her goals. Tammy has had a long road ahead of her, with many obstacles, but she hasn't given up on herself. Her new mindset is starkly different, compared to the old Tammy on 1000 lb Sisters. She doesn't look for reasons to go back to her old ways, and she has found the motivation to stick to her goals. While residing at the Windsor Lane rehab facility, Tammy struggled with being so far away from her family, and wanted nothing more than to go home. Being forced to spend time apart, and miss out on big milestones, gave her even more drive and determination to keep going. Experiencing life from this new perspective made Tammy thankful when her family would visit her. However, living life in rehab for the rest of her life was something she didn't want to do. Recognizing that her life at the facility would become her new reality if she didn't stick to her goals motivated and inspired her. Amy hasn't had to experience such a harsh reality. Her unhealthy lifestyle hasn't forced her apart from her family or made her re-evaluate herself on that same level. Amy does understand that she needs to take her health seriously to be around for her sons long-term. However, the gravity of the situation hasn't sunk in the same way as it has for Tammy. 1000 lb Sisters Tammy Slaton no longer makes excuses. Tammy's new approach to her health has her looking like a completely different person, inside and out. In previous 1000 lb Sisters installments, she was notorious for making excuses, and finding reasons to fall off the wagon. She rarely wanted to exercise, and she would become frustrated when she was called out for her unhealthy choices. Now Tammy doesn't use excuses to justify her lack of effort, and she doesn't let her emotions dictate her life. In rehab, when she was having a difficult day, and was in pain, she didn't let it stop her from accomplishing her goals. Tammy learned to push through, and do what she needed to do, even though she would be uncomfortable. Amy hasn't yet learned that her excuses are only holding her back. During both pregnancies, she would use her cravings as an excuse to cave in, by eating whatever she wanted. She would also use her pregnancies as an excuse not to exercise, and made no real effort to lead a healthy lifestyle. Now that Amy is a mother of 2 little boys, she is still using motherhood as an excuse to gloss over her bad habits. Instead of exercising, she claims that caring for her sons is her daily exercise. When Tammy or anyone else in her family has tried to speak to her about her food choices, she often points the finger back at them. She thinks they should focus on their own goals. Amy hasn't learned how her pattern of behavior, and tendency to make excuses, is stalling her progress. She is standing in her own way. 1000 LB Sisters Tammy Slaton has put in the emotional work. Tammy has been open about her struggles, discussing her life on a deeper level. She has often butted heads with her therapists, and has felt threatened by their inquiries about her weight. The 1000 LB Sisters star has not only come a long way physically, but even more importantly, she is leaps and bounds ahead of where she used to be emotionally. Tammy worked on her mental health while simultaneously working on her physical health. This approach has helped her to achieve more than she ever thought possible, and it has carried over into her relationships as well. Tammy's temper would often get the best of her on 1000 LB Sisters in the past, and she would lash out at Amy and her siblings. Her misplaced anger was the root of deeper problems, beyond diet and exercise, and affected every aspect of her life. Since going to rehab, she has been able to do a lot of inner work. This has been a catalyst for improving her mental health, which has affected her physical health. It's no secret that Amy is emotionally suffering, and that she is having a difficult time processing her feelings. Her marriage has ended, and she's now dealing with a new normal. Amy often turns to food to cope with her feelings, and uses it as a form of comfort when life goes haywire. She has never learned how to deal with her emotions properly, or evaluate herself on a deeper level. If Amy leaves her emotions unchecked, it could negatively affect any efforts she does try to make during 1000 LB Sisters episodes. Sources: Tammy Slaton, TikTok; Tammy Slaton, Instagram.
Love in the modern world is fake when love was meant for joy too. When I find you, I realize that somehow we lie. Love in the modern world, it is fake when love was meant for joy. I know that he heard you. Your 5 inches of heart is human. Can you be sure? No.